Reality is, it didn't happen to this level until Caitlin Clark showed up. Clark and the Fever currently lead the WNBA in average game attendance and per game TV viewership. Any kind of critique of Caitlin Clark, because that gives fodder to those who believe she's being hated on and ostracized to some degree.
Ever wondered what it takes to shake up an entire sports league? Well, Caitlin Clark just showed us. The WNBA is making some serious moves, all because of one rookie. But here's the thing, these changes aren't just about basketball. They're about the future of women's sports. Want to see how it all connects? Let's talk about Clark's rookie season. It's like she hit the court and everything exploded. We're talking packed arenas, TV ratings through the roof, and get this, her jersey became the top-selling item in the WNBA by mid-season. That's crazy, right? Now picture the WNBA before Clark. Sure, it was growing, but nothing like this. It's like comparing a gentle breeze to a hurricane. And you know what's even wilder? The league is about to look totally different, all because of this one player. You won't believe what's coming. The WNBA is changing its game plan, and it's all thanks to Caitlin Clark. Remember when the WNBA was struggling to fill seats? Those days are gone. Caitlin Clark stepped onto the court, and suddenly, arenas were packed, TV ratings soared, and jerseys flew off the shelves. But here's the real shocker. What happened when she wasn't playing? Let's rewind a bit. Clark's college career was like a highlight reel on repeat. She was breaking records left and right, and everyone knew she was destined for greatness. But no one could have predicted just how much she'd shake things up in the WNBA.
My cold open, but I'm going to mention it now, and that's Caitlin Clark herself of the WNBA. Let's get to the WNBA. Any kind of critique of Caitlin Clark, because that gives fodder to those who believe she's being hated on and ostracized to some degree.
The Indiana Fever snagged Clark as the first overall pick in the 2024 draft, and that's when things really took off. Before she even played her first pro game, the buzz was unreal. Fans were chomping at the bit to see her in action, and boy did she deliver. You know what's crazy? The Fever reported over 200,000 more attendees than any other team in a single season. That's not just a little bump, that's a whole new level of fandom. And TV ratings? They were through the roof, with over 1.5 million viewers tuning in per game. It's like Clark had some kind of magic touch that turned everything she did into gold. But here's where it gets wild. When Clark and the Fever got knocked out of the playoffs, something shocking happened. The ratings and attendance took a nosedive. We're talking about a nearly 50% drop in some playoff games. It's like the air got sucked out of the room as soon as Clark left the court. You want to know the real kicker? Clark's presence alone generated an estimated $50 million in additional revenue for the WNBA. That's not chump change, that's game-changing money. One player, $50 million. Let that sink in for a second. WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert summed it up perfectly when she said, "Viewership, attendance, merch sales, digital engagement, everything was off the charts." It's like Clark didn't just join the league, she gave it a complete makeover. And get this, teams were so eager to showcase Clark's skills that they started redesigning their courts. They wanted to highlight her insane shooting range. That's not just changing the game, that's changing the entire arena to fit one player's style.
Clark and the Fever currently lead the WNBA in average game attendance and per game TV viewership. You know basketball better than me. You know basketball than any of the pundits. You know basketball better than most of the men that play basketball. But despite the attendance and viewership records, there seems to be some haterade in the league.
Think court redesigns were a big deal? That's nothing. The WNBA just dropped a bomb that's shaking up everything from playoffs to TV deals. And it all traces back to one player. How much can a single rookie really change? Well, buckle up, because the answer is a whole lot. Let's talk about these crazy changes. First up, the playoffs are getting a major overhaul. Starting in 2025, we're looking at a best-of-7 series for the finals. That's right, a 2-2-1-1-1 format that's going to give fans more of what they want: intense, high-stakes basketball. And it doesn't stop there. The first round is switching to a 1-1-1 format. You know what that means? More chances to see the stars shine. But here's where it gets really wild. The regular season, it's growing from 40 to 44 games. That's 4 more opportunities to watch Clark and other top players work their magic on the court. And you know why this is happening? It's all about the demand. People can't get enough of WNBA action, and a lot of that is thanks to Clark's electrifying rookie season. Now, you might be wondering, is this really all because of one player? Well, check out what Commissioner Kathy Engelbert had to say. The league's growth and increased demand for WNBA basketball made this the ideal time to expand the schedule, lengthen the finals, and provide fans more opportunities to see the best players in the world compete at the highest level. Translation? Clark's impact is so huge, they're restructuring the entire league to keep up with the hype. But wait, there's more. You won't believe what these changes led to. The WNBA just landed a massive new media rights deal worth. Are you ready for this? $2.2 billion, that's billion with a B. This deal is going to take the league to a whole new level, capitalizing on all the new viewers and packed arenas that Clark's bringing in. And let's not forget about those charter flights. Yeah, the WNBA's finally making the switch, giving players a first-class experience as they travel. It's all part of the league's push to up its game and match the growing star power of players like Clark. You know what's even crazier? Some teams are literally moving mountains, or at least arenas, to keep up with the Clark craze. But here's the real kicker. It's not just about basketball anymore. Clark's changing the game in ways nobody saw coming. Take the Washington Mystics, for example. They're ditching their usual spot for a game and heading to Capital One Arena. Why? Because it holds 20,000 fans. That's right, they need more seats just to fit all the people who want to see Clark play. And they're not alone. The Las Vegas Aces? They're doing the same thing, moving their game against Clark's Indiana Fever to T-Mobile Arena. But it's not just about bigger arenas. Clark's impact is like a tidal wave, washing over every aspect of the WNBA. Suddenly, major media outlets are paying attention.
All the speculation that there's folks hating on Caitlin Clark. That's all she did. To be as accomplished as she is, to be the Hall of Famer that she is, reality is it didn't happen to this level until Caitlin Clark showed up.
Women's sports are getting more coverage than ever before. It's like Clark flipped a switch and now everyone's tuning in. And get this, remember that $50 million in extra revenue we talked about earlier? That's just the beginning. Corporate partnerships are through the roof. Merchandise sales are skyrocketing. Clark's jersey? It's not just popular, it's the top-selling item in the entire league by mid-season. You might be thinking, okay, but how long can this last? Well, buckle up, because the WNBA isn't letting this momentum slip away. They're expanding. That's right, Toronto's getting a team. And you know what's driving this growth? Yep, you guessed it, the Clark effect. But here's where it gets really interesting. Clark's success isn't just changing the WNBA, it's reshaping the entire landscape of women's sports. Investors are taking notice, sponsors are lining up, and young girls? They're seeing a future in sports that they might never have imagined before. Think about it. If one rookie can cause this much change, what could an entire generation of Clark-inspired athletes do? We're not just talking about basketball anymore. We're talking about a revolution in women's sports. Let's recap the Clark effect. We're talking about a rookie who changed everything. Packed arenas, sky-high TV ratings, and a $2.2 billion media deal. The WNBA's adding games, expanding playoffs, and even getting charter flights. It's like Clark waved a magic wand and transformed the league. But here's the million-dollar question. If one rookie can do all this, what could a whole generation of superstars do? Imagine a league full of Clarks, each bringing their own spark. The future of women's basketball isn't just bright, it's blinding. Commissioner Engelbert said it best. Caitlin Clark's impact has brought unprecedented attention and support to women's professional basketball. This isn't just a moment, it's the start of something huge. Women's basketball is changing the game, and you're watching it happen. Don't blink, you might miss the next big thing.